Hello everyone, wanted to do a quick video on some of the products that I'm using to restore this car or clean up the undercarriage and whatnot. So as you can see, this is kind of my workbench, got the work gloves, keep my hands clean, don't like the grease under. Lots of paper towels, shop towels, Ziploc bags, which I use to track all the bolts. And you can see here that I make sure, I've learned the hard way over the years, that you don't keep track of it, you'll forget about it. So you use lots of Ziploc bags. They're cheap compared to all the time you'll spend searching for bolts. This says left strut, so keep everything together. Really helps out, trust me. Latex gloves, they really help cleaning them. They make them pretty good nowadays, so they don't tear very much. I'm actually a research scientist, so I wear those all day at work. Lots of different things. Brushes, scrape off the rust, things like that. Tie wraps to hold things away, to do painting and whatnot. As far as the products, so it's best to get started with a bunch of different things right from the get-go, so you're never waiting for anything. So most of the stuff I pulled off. So what do we got? We got quite a few. I got rust converters, so that's what this is. One-step rust converter that you brush it on as well as spray on, so you get some hard to reach spots. I've used it before, it works pretty good. It converts the rust into a black primer. It needs a little bit of work. I got two different brands. I'm not sure how each one's gonna work. This is the first time I've used the Eastwood. So we'll see how that works. And then other things to deal with, we got the super degreaser. What I do is I got myself some pump bottles, so it gives lots of pressure, and it's much cheaper to buy it in bulk in the big, and you mix it to what you need. Since I'm doing this on the ground, if you recall, I need to have trays to catch all the water, and then I have a second one of just water, so I'm able to hose it all off. And then you can see all my dirty tools, brushes, whatever it takes to clean things up. Also, to deal with rust, this is one of those biodegradable rust removers. This is Evapor Rust. This is the first time I've used this brand. I've used the other brands, which I can't remember what the name is of it, but this stuff works pretty good. Not as good as some of the other ones I've used, but basically what it is if you've never used it before, I set up containers. Make sure you have multiple containers, so when you put the bolts in, you don't mix up the bolts. So what it does is it removes the rust off pieces. This one happened to have a lot of undercoating and whatnot, so it didn't do so well, and I've kind of ruined the liquid. But they do work well. You just let them sit for a while. They come out, they will rust relatively fast after you take them out. So yeah, with the surface rust, so you want to deal with it right away. But it works pretty good, and it's something, you put the bolts and whatnot in, and you go to work. When you come back, there's no rust on them. So they're pretty good. I know there's videos and stuff like that on there. What else I'm using? Typical degreasers, engine degreasers. This is an AutoZone one. I got other different kinds. These are a little more potent, than even some like the super degreaser sometimes. Some different things. Orange, biodegradable cleaner. Sometimes you don't want to put anything harsh, so you just use the orange stuff. Another degreaser. Self-etching primer. Use the self-etching primer on any bare metal. It stakes better before you paint it and whatnot. What else? I got plastic. This is SCM's plastic, so I can rejuvenate some of the plastic. But like anything with plastic, definitely get yourself some plastic adhesion promoter. It'll definitely go a long way. Here We got rubberized undercoating. I always get the paintable stuff to make sure that I'm able to paint it if I want. It does black, you don't have to paint it, but it goes from there. What else is in there? Aluminum prep. This cleans it, gets rid of all the corrosion and whatnot. I haven't tried this. This is from Eastwood. We'll see how good that is. It is a spray bottle. Here's the nozzle for it. TSB, pretty self-explanatory. Gotta clean things up. PB Blaster. It's pretty much, at least my favorite penetrating spray. I have cans and cans of it. I use tons of it. It actually helps because I'm not in a hurry to fix this car, that I just go under there and spray bolts, and when I come back a few days later I may spray them again, and it's actually really reduced the amount of bolts that I've broken. As far as painting the undercarriage, I use VHT roll bar chassis paint. It's an epoxy paint. I got satins and glosses. My car's a black car, so sometimes I need to spray it with some gloss to kind of match, and then all the undercarriage will be the satin. Seems to work pretty good. I'll have to let you know how it holds up. But so far I sprayed a few things and it seems pretty good. I know there's other kinds out there. I don't really have a preference right now. So that's about, well, I guess, all the sandpapers, all the different grits, to sand things down, do different things like that. Scotch-Brite pads, make sure you got your Scotch-Brite pad that really does a good job, because you don't want to waste all this time. It's all about prep when you're painting all this stuff. And that's about it. What I'm using, pretty basic stuff. Most of this stuff, I just went online, bought it, got it shipped to me from various different places. And yeah, that's about it.